My name is Bram Desmet, CEO of Solventure, and today I'm going to answer the question, who benefits from leading indicator forecasting? Well, let's start with understanding that companies make forecasts at different levels of detail. So in a company, you typically have an operational forecast, you may have a tactical forecast, and you may have a strategic forecast. With leading indicators, we are primarily involved on the tactical or the strategic level. Tactical means it's typically in monthly periods, and it can be anywhere between 1 to 18 months out. Strategic will typically be in yearly periods or yearly buckets, and it can be anywhere 1 to 15 years out. So who's interested in this type of forecasts? Well, let's start with the monthly level. First of all, the monthly level, we see a lot of interest with finance. And why is that? Well, as finance, you need to make a financial forecast, especially if your company is publicly listed and markets are not getting any more stable. So in general, there's a lot of uncertainty on that financial forecast, and using leading indicator forecasts, you can better understand what are underlying drivers. If you better understand, you can also better explain to the investor community. The same interest typically also resides with supply chain. Because as supply chain, I need to plan the supply chain. I'm more interested in a volume forecast, but with leading indicators, we can make as well a financial forecast, which is value-based, or a volume forecast, or s&op for supply chain. And the two typically come together in your s&op process. Who else might be interested? Well, we see a lot of interest more on the strategic domain with strategic marketing. So strategic marketing is the function in your company which is really looking at, okay, what is our market today? How are these markets evolving? We might have some new applications for our technologies. We might have some older applications which will be disrupted sooner or later. Understanding market drivers and see where that is going is clearly an interest of strategic marketing, and they might more be interested on a strategic domain. Who else is interested? Well, for sure sales is interested. And sales is interested, let's say, more on a tactical horizon as well on a strategic horizon. I want to know where my customers are going, where their markets are going on the short term, see how I can influence on the short term, but I also want to know it on the longer term, because if some markets are really going down, I might need to anticipate to develop new markets. The same interest might over here also exist with product management. As a product manager, I'm responsible for a certain portfolio. Again, I want to understand what is driving my sales, what type of applications are in which type of state, and where they are going. That's product management. The last function I want to certainly add here is purchasing. In a lot of cases, we see that at least companies assume there is a relationship between their sales and key raw materials, or key raw material prices. So my sales will be going up or down in function of the prices of key raw materials. Yeah? Also, as purchasing, I have a good knowledge of those raw material markets, the price evolutions, and so on. So I also want to understand that relationship between the sales of our company. And it's certainly also a person you want to include in the debate when you talk about leading indicator forecasting. In general, if you look at this group, this is probably the group of people you want to get involved to start thinking about leading indicator forecasting. They all have a stake in the process. They all have a certain view of your key markets, so they can also deliver their input. So starting with this type of group to explore what do we expect as market drivers, then doing some statistical analysis to see some of these drivers confirmed and possibly also some of these drivers to be disconfirmed, and having the capability to also have statistics suggest new relationship or new indicators which you were not necessarily aware of before. That's all of the things that we also do at Solventure and where we help companies with. So that was it for our question. who benefits from leading indicator forecasting. We will be back for more videos. Thank you.